Yes.
Starting there, we went down the wrong path. It makes no sense. I don't believe it. It doesn't add up to what your blood alcohol level was. How you say what happened that night doesn't line up. It just doesn't. I get that 40 ounces is a big beer, but if you've been an alcoholic for as long as you're talking about, that's not going to get your blood alcohol to what it was that night, which was almost a 0.2. Okay, so Mr. Segura, when you were here and entered your plea of guilty, I asked you some very specific questions about pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, and then pleading guilty because you actually did what they charged you with, and your answers to both of those were yes. The version, however, that of your version that I received here in the pre-sentence report is a little different. It says that you didn't have the drink until your vehicle was stopped. And so your version, if I'm to believe it, is that you stopped at the Taco Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
You drove to the Taco Bell.
I drove to the Taco Bell.
You stopped at the Taco Bell and you drank while your vehicle was stopped.
No, ma'am. I was outside the vehicle when the officer.
So you hung out at Taco Bell.
I was
and drank.
I was waiting for the line to move so I could get my food.
I asked that the defendant be sworn.
Yeah. Let's do that. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
So help me God.
Okay. So you're saying that you got to Taco Bell. You drove to Taco Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I made a right turn with my signal and everything. Then I was about to park my vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the swerve came in at. Okay, obviously it has to be. And then so
I'm not worried about. Hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I want to know when you got to Taco Bell, regardless of whatever happened.
Right.
Did you go through the drive-through or did you park?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I
Listen to my question. Did you go through the drive-through or did you park?
I parked my car.
So when you parked your car at Taco Bell, you start having alcohol at that point?
No, ma'am. I got out of my vehicle to see how far traffic was up in front of me.
Okay.
They had several cars in front of me.
In front of you for what? You were parked.
Yeah, I was parked like.
Were you parked in a parking spot or were you parked in the drive-through?
I was not exactly in the drive-through. I was at the end of the store. At the end of the store.
Okay.
But I guess you could consider that the drive-through line.
Were you waiting for the drive-through?
I was waiting for the drive-through.
Okay, listen, here's the thing. You're not going to try to trick me up with semantics today. No, hold on, don't talk over me.
Yes, ma'am.
When I say, were you going through the drive-through or were you parked? What does that mean? That means, did you park your car because you're going to go in the store, or were you waiting in the line to go through the drive-through?
I was actually waiting to go through the drive-through.
Okay. I may look, I don't know, like I'm 12 years old and just fell off the turnip truck, but I'm not.
No, ma'am.
So you're in the line and you get out of your vehicle, right? Because there's a long line. Right. The cars aren't moving.
Right.
Right. So you get out and you decide, I'm going to start drinking here in the parking lot.
No, ma'am. I didn't drink until I got back inside my car.
Okay. But while you were at the Taco Bell, you started drinking. Had you drank before that?
No, ma'am. So
you're telling me that you started drinking at Taco Bell?
Yeah, I opened the container. That's how the beer came. It was on the floor.
So from the time that you started drinking at Taco Bell to the time that the officers got there, about how long was that?
Oh, maybe 15 to 20, 30 minutes, whatever.
Okay. How much did you drink between that time?
I had a malt liquor. The 211 is a strong beer.
Mm-hmm. Just one?
It was a 40 ounce.
Right. So you drank the whole 40 ounces.
I was drinking out of the thing. After the fact that
you were drinking out of what?
After I stepped back in the car, I started drinking it.
Right. So how much of it did you drink?
I consumed a lot of it.
Okay, so let's just say you drank most of 1 40 ounce.
It was contained.
So that's your story, and you're sticking. Hold on. So is that your story, and you're sticking with it? That you drank most of 1 40 ounce beer in about 15 to 30 minutes, and that you hadn't drank anything before then.
No, except for that night before, about 2 o'clock that morning.
Okay.
And then the whole blood, alcohol stays in your blood system added to what I drank.
Okay. So your test on this night after drinking most of a 40 ounce was 0.188. And you're wanting me to believe that that's based on most of one drink, and that maybe you still had alcohol in your system from the day before.
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
but what I recalling my memory, ma'am, I have no reason to try to trick you, Miss West. I'm telling you the God's son is true. Like I said, I had alcohol in my system from the night before.
Well, how much did you drink the night before?
Well, I was intoxicated.
So what you're telling me then, if
And
you
all-
had, hang on, so if you had that much alcohol in your system from the night before, that you were still probably hold on. Watch where your story's going.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're telling me you had so much in your system the night before that it was going to still be in your blood, and you had just driven to the Taco Bell.
No, I drove into the Taco Bell that later on that evening,
You're not right.
but it wasn't a full 24 hours.
Right.
Right.
So if you're saying that 0.188 is because of the night before, then all likelihood you were drunk when you were driving from the night before, if I'm to believe your story that you only had most of one drink while you were there. See how that doesn't make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So let's go back. Obviously there's some medium acceptance of responsibility, so we can go forward with the arguments unagreed. Mr. Coleman, you have a witness?
Yes, Your Honor. State Cause Troy Robinson.
Mr. Robertson, if you please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Your Honor, the court's familiar with Mr. Robinson and his background, but
Sure.
for the purpose of the record, Mr. Robinson, you're certified as a fingerprint expert. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
How long have you been certified as a fingerprint expert?
Almost 6 years now,
Testified in court before?
multiple times.
You've had an opportunity to review some documentation in this case.
I have.
Did they include prior judgments for the defendant, Mark Anthony Segura?
They work.
I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit Number 1. Is State's Exhibit Number 1 a fair and accurate summary of the 20 previous felony judgments that you reviewed in this case?
It is.
Using your
for 20 felony judgments.
20 previous prior criminal judgments, including a number of felonies.
Correct.
Okay. In other words, both misdemeanors and felonies.
Yes, sir.
And did you use the defendant's admission to at least one of the DWIs that he pled true to that had a print on its judgment to compare to the judgments here that had prints on it?
That is correct.
And what was your determination?
They're the same person.
And in addition to the prints that you used to compare and confirm his identity on these judgments, were there also some personal identifying information such as date of birth, SID numbers, and that kind of thing that you used to link to this?
Correct. As known as identifiers.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I would offer State's Exhibit Number 1, which is a summary of the judgments, and the actual judgments themselves that are marked as State's Exhibits 2 through 20. For purposes of the record, tender to defense counsel.
Let me just ask, are there any on that list that aren't already on the pre-sentence report? I mean, why are we
It's
doing
been a while
both?
since I looked at the judge. I did think that there was at least a couple of those judgments. It's been a while since.
Mr. Burbank, does your client,
I'm gonna,
hold on, does your client have any objection or any reason not to, for me not to take judicial notice of the PSI for sure, that those prior offenses listed in there and the ones that are convictions are any way wrong?
for the misdemeanors, that's correct.
Okay, so what about for the felonies? Are there one or more that are contest? So what I show with convictions on the PSI, I've got a 91 possession of a controlled substance. There was a probation that was revoked for 5 TDC.
Yes, sir.
Got a 96 manufacturing delivery of a controlled substance, 1 year jail. I've got a 03 possession of a controlled substance, 18 months state jail.
I have that.
I've got an 03 from April manufacturer delivery with 6 months state jail. I've got a January of 15 obstruction or retaliation, 2 TDC.
Yes.
I've got at the same date a harassment of a public servant, 2 TDC. I've got a driving while intoxicated, 3rd or more. Offense date of 11 of 15, 3 TDC. And then I've got an 18 obstruction retaliation with 5 TDC. That totals 8 felony convictions.
That's more than what I had in my summary, Judge.
Okay. So are there then, I need at least whatever you have, because he has pled not true to the ones alleged in the indictment, which, let me pull that up.
Yes, Judge.
Y'all can just go sit down and take a break for a minute.
Yes, Judge.
Don't leave the courtroom, Mr. Segur.
Yes, no, yes, ma'am.
There, because it was reduced, there wouldn't be a
I do not see an SID number, no, ma'am.
evidence that has been included in the PSI, as well as States Exhibit 2, 6, and 7. I'm going to find that the prior criminal offense felony in cause number 15-23847, which is number 15 in the state's enhancement, is true. I am also going to find State's Exhibit number 6, which is cause number 15-22572, which is number 14 in the state's notice of enhancement. Make a finding that that is true. In addition, State 7, which is cause number 18-30235, which is number 16 in state's notice of enhancement. I am also going to make the finding that that is true. So that are those 3 prior felony offenses. I have made findings of true. I am taking into consideration all of the other ones, with the exception of state's number 5, which has not been introduced, but that was, we discussed, which is cause number 60328. I am going to make a finding of not true because I don't have enough evidence in that. It sounds like in that judgment to link Mr. Segur well enough to that offense. Everything else I'm taking notice of for punishment purposes.
And I know this is minor, Judge, but does that include the 2096, let me show you, in the PSI, in which he received 1 year before we believe before the state jail?
I just said that a minute ago. So in 96,
Okay, that's the one.
I'm taking notice that that was reduced and is not a felony. So, and what that means is that it appears as though there are this would be maybe the 7th or 8th. All right. So yes, I took judicial notice that that one was reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor back on the with argument on sentencing.
If I may, I'd like to call my client.
Yes, and he's already been sworn in. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Go ahead, Mr. Segur or Mr. Burbank.
We're here today, Mark, to determine what punishment should be in reference to this. Tell the court why. Well, what are you asking for in punishment? Let's start with that one.
First of all, Miss Judge West, ma'am, I'm asking for mercy, for forgiveness to begin with. I'm not a bad person. Miss West, I completed high school. I had 1 semester in college for auto mechanics. I've served for the community. I worked all my life. The kids was out playing.
Where have you worked?
I worked, starting off, I worked for Little Winners when I was a kid at the age 15. After that, I graduated and I continued working. I've been working in the plant for over 30 to 40 years. All my life, I've been working.
How many years?
Building scaffolds
Mr.
and all different types of jobs all over.
Mark,
Yeah.
how many years did you serve in prison? How many years have you been in prison?
First of all,
How many years have you been in prison?
all together with everything, I done did over 10 years.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 58 years old.
58 years old, and for 10 years, you've been in prison in DWIs and other things. So what mercy are you asking for from this court when you have 19 misdemeanors and 6 or 7 felonies? Why should she consider something less? I mean, give her a reason why.
Miss West,
What's changed?
I didn't do half of the things that they say I did.
Mark, you pled guilty to them, okay? That's
Yeah.
over with, right? The day for you, in reference to court, the day for you to say, I didn't do this is over. You accepted a plea, okay? I mean, let's cut to the chase here,
Yes,
because she could find the allegations, well, she did, the true and under consideration, and it's 25 to life,
yes,
okay? And I guess the most you've had up until this point is 5 years, correct?
yes.
Okay, so now let's go first to when you were arrested. Were you working?
I'm receiving disability. I can't work no more.
Okay, what is your disability?
I got rheumatoid arthritis. I got prostate problems. My heart is bad.
Are you on disability?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and when were you placed on disability?
Like 2020.
Okay, so 2020, you're on disability. So while you're on disability, why are you drinking beer 40 ounces at a time? Or drinking the night before to where you're tired?
There's no excuse.
Explain to it.
I just lost my brother. I lost my mother and my father. And the alcohol just don't bring it. They're not gonna bring it.
Okay, so you have a problem.
I had a problem.
One of the things we talked about was, when you came to me was that you never went into a program.
Never.
You never went into a drug program?
I never had a chance on probation and that.
Well, you got.
Well, what about when you
probation.
weren't on probation? What about the times when you weren't in prison? You knew you had a problem and you wanted to stay out of
Yeah,
prison?
well, I got a device since I've been home.
What do you?
No, what, that's since you've
Oh,
been
yes,
in.
ma'am. I tried.
I'm talking about the rest of your life. I'm talking about the times that you got
Yes, ma'am.
arrested 43 times for public intoxication, 39 traffic offenses, 17 times you didn't appear in court, 5 disorderly conducts, 4 open containers. I mean, these are the ones that aren't even listed on the pages.
Yes, ma'am.
Pages.
Miss West. They have 5 different other marks again.
Okay, so you're gonna
In the
stick with
system.
that this isn't you.
No, ma'am. I'm not making no excuses. I have very much high respect for the
Well,
officer
but-
of the law.
Okay. Do you
Okay.
really? You
Yes,
do?
ma'am, I do.
So that's the 19 misdemeanors, the assaults, the terroristic threats, the
I-
trespassings, the 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your 5th DWI, your 2nd felony DWI. By what you need to understand
Yes, ma'am.
is that by not really taking personal responsibility and making us go through this circus that we've been going through now for an hour and a half of trying to prove that you actually have been convicted of felony offenses
Yes, ma'am.
when you know darn well that you have,
Yes, ma'am.
makes no sense to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Coleman,
I have no questions for this.
argument.
Just briefly, Judge, you have everything you need, Judge. We're asking that you sentence this defendant to the minimum of 25 years. He put himself in this situation, Judge.
If I
Go
may,
ahead.
Judge. One of the things in reference to the priors, maybe semi my fault, Judge, because if I did not object to them, to me, it and he pled true to them, then it would automatically, go to 25 to life without the consideration of full range. He's got a problem, and he's been most of his life in and out, and it's alcohol related. I throw one thing out, Judge, but it is alcohol, and he was in a vehicle, and there is a big risk in this, is that you place him on 10 years deferred probation, you find true to the allegations, you send him to safety, but if he screws up, he's looking at a minimum of 25 to life if you find those true, so that if he comes back. Here's the problem is that we don't know what happens when he comes back, what the new offensive violation is in reference to this. But I've done it before, Judge, in other courts where you could give him deferred. And
I can't give deferred on a driving while intoxicated. Now, we've done that on other types of, you're starting with the beginning of this hearing when we were going through the, just the nature of the offense.
Yes.
Starting there, we went down the wrong path. It makes no sense. I don't believe it. It doesn't add up to what your blood alcohol level was. How you say what happened that night doesn't line up. It just doesn't. I get that 40 ounces is a big beer, but if you've been an alcoholic for as long as you're talking about, that's not going to get your blood alcohol to what it was that night, which was almost a 0.2. It was a 0.188. And I have already found those 3 prior offenses true. Those are all felony offenses from different conviction dates. I'm going to find that you previously entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of driving while intoxicated, third or more. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. In my opinion, you're lucky that Mr. Coleman asked for 25, because I'm not sure that you really even deserve that, with your criminal history and with how you have refused to accept real responsibility. You will receive credit on this sentence for any time that you've been in custody.